Good.
All right, in all the conversations that we've had, I've never asked this question. Why would you call your bed and breakfast a jailhouse?
Well, that's a good question. We get that a lot, and everyone is looking for a jail cell somewhere. Actually, our kitchen was the first night jail for Excelsior Springs. Bill Payne, who was our police chief from 1926 to 1953, purchased this property in 1940, and it was close enough to the jail. He thought, you know, instead of having to spend the night at the jail if I have a prisoner, I'll just take him home and lock him up. And originally, he locked him in an upstairs bedroom, at least this is the legend, and his wife Edna threw a fit, and so he hurried up and built this little addition on the back of what used to be the kitchen here, and that was the first night jail for Excelsior Springs.
Wow, that's a great history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that.
I love
I
it.
did not know that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but I believe your partner in crime does all the cooking in-house, correct?
Not all the cooking. I do a lot of the cooking.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anna Sue has her signature entrees. This weekend we served one of those, and it's breakfast enchiladas, and it is to die for. Served on a bed of salsa verde with halved grape tomatoes, fresh cilantro, and fresh sliced avocado.
Okay, I'm coming for breakfast.
Okay? with our cinnamon rolls.
What else did she create?
I do the Amish casserole, and I don't know why they call it Amish. It's a wonderful dish.
Okay, so I got another question for you, or I guess not a question, a statement. One of my favorite things in here is the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from, and what is that all about?
We call it our Wall of Fame, and we got this tradition in Augusta, Missouri. On one of our wine tours, we stayed at a B&B there, and the lady had her entire walls were full, and she even had a rolling library ladder. So she said all the young guys would get on the ladder and write at the top by the ceiling.
Oh, fun!
I've yet to create the ladder, but it's a lot of fun. We've got people literally from all over the world.
So every guest signs the wall?
Yes,
With
we
messages
try.
or-
Yes, we try not to let them escape unless they sign.
Well, that's awesome. So you have 3 rooms here, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you book in advance, so how far in advance do you need to book?
In the summertime, people usually book about a month in advance. I've got bookings right now going into May, and I've even got one in September.
So do they all 3 have different names? And if so, what are those names?
Well, they do. Our rooms are themed from places that we have visited in our travels. My wife owns a travel agency, and so when we started to name the rooms, we thought 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, and C was a little bit boring. And so we have our King Suite, which is on the ground level, and we call that the Caribbean Suite. And we have some items that we picked up from the Caribbean and the Dominican Republic. We have 2 suites upstairs, the Pacific Suite, which has some whales and some things that we've picked up in Hawaii and in the Pacific waters. And then we also have the European room. Both of those rooms have queen beds. And so we've got some pictures of Paris and a picture of an Italian vineyard. And I've got this wonderful watercolor that we bought in Prague that I've yet to get in a frame, and that's going to go in the European suite as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's 3 different types of schemes, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and it's just to kind of differentiate one room between the next, and people will look on our website, and when they book, they will, for whatever reason, like one over the other.
Oh, really?
And they'll say, well, I want the Pacific Suite, and I'll say, well, it's not available. How about the European?
Well, that's good to know. So when I book, I guess I better choose which suite I want.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think earlier you had mentioned that you guys are going down a new avenue or making some changes.
Mm-hmm.
What are those changes?
Well, we've purchased a property about a quarter mile from here, and we're going to be moving out of this building, which we refer to as the big house.
Mm-hmm.
And the guest house we endearingly refer to as the inmates' quarters. And so this is where the warden lives. And
Okay.
so what we plan on doing is moving off the property And then this will become a common area for people to play board games while we're not serving breakfast. The living room will be a place where people can lounge around, watch a DVD. The upstairs, which is our bedroom quarters right now, will be a family suite that'll sleep 4. And so we'll be able to accommodate up to 10 people.
That's awesome.
And yeah, we're kind of looking forward to that.
Kind of like a small little family atmosphere.
Yes. Or girls a lot. This past weekend, we actually had 6 ladies in the rooms upstairs that were designed for 2, but we have some rollaway beds and stuff. And so it will make it much more conducive to larger group gatherings like that.
That's good.
We get a lot of girls' weekends.
Do you?
Yes.
So what are some of their favorite things to do?
People love our wineries. They come into town for the wineries, our events, the events we have downtown. People love the microbreweries. They like that experience. But mostly just to get away from the rat race to the big cities. And because of what DEP does to market in Omaha, Wichita, Topeka, and Des Moines, most of our guests come from those areas.
And I'm sure they also like to sit around the fire pit and drink some wine sometimes.
Absolutely. Right? That's one of the favorite things that people enjoy is the outdoor space.
Okay, so Mark, if I wanted to book, where would I go? Instagram, Facebook? What kind of venues do you have out there that we could go on and book a room?
Well, primarily people book through our website, which is Payne Jailhouse B, the word and B.com.
Okay.
That is our private website. We are also on Airbnb.
So those 2 websites.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Also, I would add that people call all the time wanting places to stay, and I may be booked up, and I refer them to our tourist website, visitexcelsior.com. And most of our lodging accommodations have a website link on that webpage. And so they can look at it, all the different avenues and venues for lodging, and they can just click on that and it'll take you straight to our website.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
so if you are full up, we can book somewhere else.
That's right.
Thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure coming down here, and it's so cute. You guys need to come visit. So
Absolutely.
we're going to sign off now, but you guys stay tuned next week for our Downtown Downloaded episode. Thanks so much.